Alright folks, welcome back to Kilwa, and I think we are finally ready for the big war. I've let a little time pass. A few important things to know is our old bad leader died, and behold, our 446, the result of our board of admirals that we've been steadily working towards. So that is a masterful leader there. We should recruit a new admiral to replace him. I've filled out our army and parked most of it here in the north, with a little bit hiding behind the desert to march north afterwards. We've asked the Ottomans and the French to prepare for war. Spain has just ended a big war with several other enemies, so they are probably not at their full strength. And so now is a good time to attack Portugal. And we're actually, let's be even sneakier. Let's let them get their armies out onto that ship, and then we will... Yep, now they've got their armies on that ship. And we are going to attack Portugal right at the moment when Spain's army is there. So we're going to use our new imperialism casus belli. I don't think anyone's significance coming in. France is in a ton of debt. Hold up, we're going to have to go. Have to go bribe France. They need a lot of cash, I find. Let's see. Let's send them a gift. I actually kept a lot of money on hand for just such a scenario, because I did not want them to be in crazy amounts of debt and it be a problem. There we go. Let's bring this one back. They're both in France, I know, but let's bring them back. That should give France enough money that now they're not going to have that problem. It's unfortunate we won't be able to easily stack wipe that navy, but hopefully their troops are out of position again and have to trickle back. Let's try it again. We're going to bring in the Ottomans and France. This should be enough. Alright, we have declared. We would like that. There we go. Alright, so the war is declared. There are a variety of battles immediately happening. Let's get our leaders into position. Let's see, which one's the best siege leader? That guy. Let's immediately move forward onto those stacks. Now that the war is declared and those armies are getting out of the way, these armies can march forward. Over here in this area, this army can immediately march in on this one. I don't know where their army is. This army was already positioned to seize the colonies over here. Alright, I think that's what we need there. Let's let the armies march north. Let's get into position, gentlemen. I also let our manpower and sailors refill a little bit. We will immediately barrage. There we go. Let's see how things are going over here. We have won that pretty much immediately. Well, it was a free barrage anyways. Let's deal with this Portuguese army. Hello, Portugal. Goodbye, Portugal. Alright, let's come back over there now. Looks like that's over. Let's move this one over here. We'll need to clear, it looks like, some Spanish ships. The armada is here. Let's bring this up north. Looks like we're doing well on these sieges. Looks like Spain could use a little, or France could use a little help. Let's bring this army in. Let's see if we can crush this Spanish fleet first. And they are annihilated. There is no more trade fleet. There. We can breach our way through these mountains. There we go. Let's pop back over here real quick, because we know we need to re-breach this wall. This army is united. We can probably break this fleet in half at some point, but it's not really urgent because the real battle is going to be over here. Looks like the reinforcements have arrived. Don't go there. That will just give us tons of attrition. Alright, we're getting close. Ugh, here come the enemies, though. And we, unlike last time, we have not been able to siege down these. Let's immediately go ahead and send in reinforcements. I think otherwise they're just going to attack us immediately. Yep, there they come. Let's force march this army north. They need to get there faster. Let's stop. Force march in. There we go. Troops are reinforcing, but that is just so many troops. I'm not even sure we can reinforce it fast enough. Nope, couldn't get into it fast enough. And now it's going to be very bad. Hold up, let's not reinforce that. Fall back this way. Let's bring you back this way as well. Nope, don't want to encounter that. Let's go back this way. This army has force march on and may be too close. Yeah, it may be too close. Let's retreat. Army did manage to retreat. We have taken the Portuguese flagship. Alright, so Fez was held, but we have managed to take some of the other ones. Alright, that one has been taken. Into the next one. Let's get over here. There we go. Let's immediately blast this one as well. Alright, let's see where these armies are shattering. Let's pull back. We took 2 fortresses, but now we need them to move away. Let's pull all of these south. These mountains are just impossible to get through. Let's go ahead and reinforce that army. We probably should have done that from the beginning, honestly. We should have used our... because we have the increased siege. We have artillery levels versus forts, and so we could have overstacked the siege. in order to expedite it, which probably was the correct choice. Looks like they really want to engage me. Oh, there they come. They're coming in very piecemeal. Still don't think it's going to be enough. These fortresses are just too heavy. We may have to swing. We may have to back out of this region, hop on ships, and land on their capital on the mainland. Also need the Ottomans to join up. It's worth noting, we don't have 10 war score yet. Let's fall out with the troops that we have. Let's regroup. Hold up. Let's regroup. We're all spread out. We have siege that. Excellent. Let's come in and pick up the ships, and we'll go siege some more stuff up in the north. Let's combine this army. Hey, now, oh, now that's a mistake. Now they're the ones that are sieging in the Highlands. Oh, they've got a lot of troops though. That was more troops than I was anticipating. Let's get in, gentlemen. Looks like Normandy wants out. Reinforce, please. Yeah, I should have come in one. I need to stop moving individual stacks at this point. Ugh. Yeah, I need to group and stop moving these little tiny individual stacks because they just are not powerful enough to win anymore. How big is this army? It's 2, so it should be combined into 1. Let's turn that off. Let's pull back here. Let's pull back with this one here. I think that means we are now down to just 2 of the original army stacks, which is definitely not enough. This is where they retreated. Let's see. Let's just pop this one off. Yeah, they definitely need to come north again. Alright, let's grab this army and bring it north. Then let's take this army and build it back up to full strength. There we go. Once that's rebuilt, then we'll have enough troops. Now we just need to hide behind our own defensive forts. Let's see if we move north with these. Oh, the Spanish appear to be attacking me there. That would be very favorable. Let's see, can I piece Normandy out and just give it to France? There we go. France can have that. Get rid of any troops that are around here. Looks like finally some of the allies are going to make it over here. I don't want to engage again until this army gets north. Alright, let's see what we have here. Let's see, can we get through this fortress very quickly? Even if it takes huge amounts of attrition to achieve it. We've lost a general somewhere, but we have tons of generals now. Did we reposition this army? No. Let's attach, grab you. Let's come up here with this army. France, careful. It looks like they're turning back to you. Like we're already at 0. This is what I should have done from the beginning. Alright, who's the best general? That gentleman. Let's march him north. Looks like Spain is... They've come north and now they've decided to fight with France. Alright, this is... We want to get out of the mountains as quickly as possible. We will... I don't love the loss of stability, but I do like the siege ability. I think we are going to take this way ahead of time. Just so we can take another idea group. We will take, obviously, a military one. This gives morale. Land maintenance. Reinforce. Garrison size. This is not useful. Quantity is going to be the one to go for. There we go. That way we can get manpower modifier, manpower recovery speed, and regiment cost. There we go. Let's also focus mill so that we can rapidly take those ideas, because you can see we're already starting to burn out on manpower, partially because of the way we're sieging. There we go. Now we're making progress. Let's move immediately to Fez. Nope, can't get there, so we'll have to siege this way. Trading in sugar. Are we in control of the siege? No. A lot of stability. Would have preferred that I be in control of the siege, so that I could use my artillery barrage. To speed the way across. But the allies do not want me to be in charge, unfortunately. Let's come over here. Let's go take this fortress. Alright, let us naval barrage. Or how this war is going. Looks like we're winning-esque. France may eventually get kicked out, but we don't really care about that. Alright, we have breached the walls. It's like France may be the sacrificial lamb again that gets, like, annihilated. Interesting that they're giving them to air. I was gonna say, France? Alright, come on. I think I have better siege ability, so it would be better if I were doing the siege, but it is what it is. Let's bring this fleet back. Get back in there. We're quote losing, but not really. We just haven't landed on their capital yet. We've pretty much sieged North Africa. I think we can get across. I think we need to go ahead and siege Ceuta. I think we can do. If we just go ahead and bring the fleet over. Alright, there we go. We built up this fleet specifically for this purpose. Land. Siege of Tondo is over. And siege all this. Okay, at least we're positive now. Get ready to go pick up this second army. Oh, we've like totally burned out our manpower doing this stupid siege. Looks like they haven't upgraded this fortress. Some of the forts may be upgraded and some are not. They've upgraded the ones in the south, but not the one in the north, apparently. Let's go for supply limit. That'll be helpful. Nope, there will be no tariffs, thank you. Alright, this Fez fort, which we almost had before and should have just max sieged. Let's get the fleet again. Revolution. Ah. They've had a ton of rebels spawn inside their own territory due to the revolution, which we will take. Wow, Spain wants out. They will cede, blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. Let's decline that for a second. I didn't even consider that Spain might be willing to peace out based on the level of sieging we've already done. Alright, so what we're after is really this. right here, and this. That's all we really want from Spain. That will give us what we need. So we just need to push a little bit more until they're willing to leave. Which may happen here in a minute with just a few more fortresses coming down. And with Spain out, the war will be easy. Let's take some loyalty. Alright, come on. Let's end some of these sieges here. There we go. Fez is sieged. Alright, no need to attach anymore. We can just walk north. Probably we'll check again with Spain after the siege of Ceuta. Spain is still just carpet sieging, it looks like, up north in France. Alright, Ceuta down. Now we can spill across. Unless that was enough, and Spain is now ready to leave. Nope, they still are not willing to agree to that demand, so we're going to have to come across and into their territory. Oop, can't cross until we destroy the Spanish fleet. They seem to be trickling more ships in, but it is a foolish thing to do. Oop, but it has interrupted my crossing. Oop, there's France out. Let's get across. Spain is really interested in getting out. They must be tapped on manpower. They probably burned a ton. Let's take this off. Let's just park the... what we'll call the war booty fleet over here. Or actually here is fine. Somewhere close. Ottomans and allies are piling in. We have annexed in. Annexed in a vassal. What have we got here? This is this little armies over here. This is the one we have inherited from Funge. Let's just bring him back over here for a minute and see what we got in this army stack. Bring this actually army forward and swap out the siege, because this army doesn't have enough to... Oh, we've lost an admiral. We're gonna need a new one. This one's very good. Their morale for continuing this conflict is very low. Gonna give me what I want. Nope, but we're getting close. We're about to siege our way into Spain, and then I think their tune might change. We do have to actually defeat them. Nope. Just see, how are the Ottomans holding in? They're medium, so we can't keep this going too much longer. We need to get Spain out quickly. These sieges are killing me. These level 8 mountain sieges are just destroying our manpower. And boom. Alright, there we go. That siege is over. Are you, Spain, now ready to exit the war? Yes, they will. Okay, so they will take this piece, which is the key piece that we need. It would be nice to also take some of these fortresses from them. That may be beyond what can be done. Something like Fez would be really useful, so that if we ever have to go to war with them again, it would not be such an impossible thing. Let's keep pushing a little bit longer. There's mountains. I don't really want to fight them in the mountains. Let's pour in with our troops and see if we can just do a little carpet siege here in the south. It looks like that was not a good battle. Why are y'all piling into that? That's not even a very good battle. Whatever, if y'all want to fight that, go for it. They won a battle? Cool. Another army destroyed. Then these armies into Portugal proper. Right now, we're basically just engaging in some carpet sieging to see if that will cause Spain's interest in this war to end. I'll just hold still for a minute, then we will quickly siege a lot of this. Alright, I don't want to push my luck. We've sieged a lot of it. Let's see what we can get now, and then I think we'll just take what we can get and call it a victory. So we are able to take this province, as well as these. We need for the mission to have everything in the Malaccas and Malacca. And so that will give us what we need. They are willing to give us more. So let's take advantage of that. Let's take advantage of that to see if we can take Fez. Very close. Let's see if we can take Fez, because that would be very useful. Oh, they're starting some sort of counteroffensive here. Hold on. It would be really nice to take Fez, but I may be pushing my luck here. I think this is only going to slip further away, so let's hold on that. Let's just pause that there. Guess we could take that back. If need. So we can take a little bit of stuff to strengthen our vassal. I think that's the piece. That will give us what we need over here. Yep, that gives us what we need over here. And strengthens the vassal a little bit. Send deal. Alright, Spain is now out of the war. Spain is now completely out of the war. Before we core any of that, let us immediately try to convert it. This is already our religion, so it can be added. A trade company. I think the only one we need to convert is this one, and when that is converted, I think it will be over. Let's pull these troops up to here. Let's pull them over there. And we can core the other ones.